This was unprecedented in the annals of coup plotting in Africa. As a matter of fact, this is why a lot of people in the military circles were afraid of Abacha. His knowledge of the country was too much, and his loyalists in the military were too many. He was indeed a powerful Nigerian military officer who had seen it all in the leadership story of the country. His first participation in coup was in July 1966. This was the second military coup in the history of Nigeria. At that time, Abacha was a second lieutenant in the Nigerian army. He was barely 23 years old. He was part of the group of soldiers from the northern region of Nigeria at the time who plotted and executed a revenge coup in July 1966, following the first military coup of January of the same year. Agu Ironsi was removed from office, and Yakubu Gowon was made to take over as the new military head of state. Yakubu Gowon ruled through the Nigeria-Biafra Civil War years and continued to rule after the war, but kept postponing the handover date to civilian administration. A coup was therefore planned to remove him. That was in 1975. At this time, Abacha had climbed the ranks and was now a colonel in the Nigerian army. The coup to remove Gowon was planned largely by senior military officers so as to keep it sealed. Abacha was in that clique that planned the coup. Other senior officers like Murtala Mohammed, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, and Joseph Gaba were also in the coup plan. Gowon left Nigeria to Kampala in Uganda to attend the summit of the Organization of African Unity, and while there, a coup was staged at home against his government, and he was asked in a national broadcast not to return to the country. The radio announcement was made by Joseph Gaba, who was the commandant of Gowon's Brigade of Guards. Murtala Mohammed was then announced as the new head of state. In February 1976, Murtala Mohammed was assassinated by Lieutenant Colonel Bukasuka Dimka at a traffic jam in Lagos, and power was handed over to Olusegun Obasanjo, who was Murtala's deputy. Obasanjo organized elections and Shehu Shagari was sworn in as civilian president of the country. Shagari served out his first term and won election for a second term, but he did not know that there was a military coup in the pipeline. This coup was plotted by Abacha, Babangida, David Mark, Joshua Dogonyaro, and many other senior officers. In no time, Shagari was toppled. The coup plotters then brought Buhari on board as the new military head of state, with Tunde Idiagbon as his deputy. It should be noted that the radio broadcast that announced the removal of President Shehu Shagari from office was made by Abacha. This was the first time his voice was publicly heard by Nigerians and the international community. Before now, his role in military coups was secret and only known to his clique. In that radio broadcast, he announced the appointment of Major General Muhammadu Buhari as the new military head of state. In an interview granted to the Sun newspaper in 2018 by Major Mustapha Jokolo, who was the ADC to General Muhammadu Buhari, Jokolo noted as follows, unquote, "The first shocker to the coup plotters was the announcement of the names of the 19 governors without the names of the coup plotters. The only person that was appointed among the coup plotters was David Mark, who was made the military governor of Niger State. The other person that was given a key appointment from among the coup plotters was Ahmed Abdullahi, who was appointed Minister of Communication. End of quote. This development did not go down well with the coup plotters, who raised their lives in high expectation of immediate key military appointments. It appears that the plan to remove Buhari from office as soon as practicable originated from here. Abacha and co. then began another plan to remove Buhari from office. This plan was carried out, and Major General Muhammadu Buhari was removed. Abacha was at the center of this plan. Joshua Dogonyaro made the initial announcement to the world that Buhari had been toppled, but Joshua did not mention the name of the new head of state. Nigerians then waited for several hours to hear the announcement of the name of the new leader. Later in the evening, the familiar voice of Brigadier General Sani Abacha was heard on radio, announcing Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida as the new military head of states. The coup was successful, and Abacha was in full participation. After this coup, there was no other successful military coup in Nigeria. It is reported that this was largely as a result of Abacha's eye on intelligence. He was able to pick information from the dust and frustrate coup plans before they could be executed. All the coups that were plotted to remove Babangida from office did not work. They were all frustrated, and the coup plotters were arrested and tried. Abacha was a close confidant to Babangida, and during Gideon Oka's coup attempt to remove Babangida, Abacha played a major role to save Babangida's life and the seat of power. The attack occurred at night, and it is reported that Abacha was woken from sleep by shots fired by the coup plotters. It is reported that Abacha changed to combat gear, wore his arms and ammunition, and personally engaged the coup plotters with the support of some loyal soldiers till the coup was frustrated. Abacha went to Radio Nigeria and made a national broadcast, assuring the citizens to be calm and informing them that the coup was successfully foiled and that Babangida was still in power. Babangida would have been killed in this coup but for the intervention of Abacha and other loyal soldiers like UK Bello and co. UK Bello was Babangida's ADC. UK Bello, however, lost his life in the coup. As stated earlier, there was no other successful coup in the country after the coup that brought Babangida to power. The next successful coup was in 1993. That was the coup that removed Ernest Shenekon from power. The coup was well calculated and seamlessly executed. No life was lost. No bullet was fired. Nobody was arrested. Not a single door was broken in Aso Rock. It was peaceful, seamless, and executed with the military expertise of a professional coup master. And Ernest Shenekon was successfully removed. The chief planner and executor of that coup was Sani Abacha. Like a well-scripted movie, the coup master finally announced himself as the military head of state of Nigeria. It was indeed unprecedented for one man to have had his hands in all successful military coups in the country without being caught even for once. Abacha went on to rule Nigeria from 1993 to 1998 when he died in office. How Abacha was able to navigate the rough edges of coup planning and execution without being caught, with all the attendant consequences, remains a surprise to several persons till today. Many thanks for watching this episode of Back in History, and do remember to follow the channel and page and share the videos with loved ones.